Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Hello.
There he is.
What are you doing?
I'm going mental. Yeah, it's day 4.
Madness.
It is. It's utter crazy madness. I'm just going to turn you up on my cans. Can you believe you're not loud enough for once?
Really?
It's crazy. Yeah, no, on the phone, on the actual headphones.
Oh, right. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting thinking, like, I'm pretty sure you said 4 o'clock.
I did.
Isn't it funny though? Like, do you remember years ago, right, when we were, even more years ago when we were kids? For you, more so me.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you used to
just start straight away? We're not even a minute in, and you're already calling me a old man.
You know when you used to phone your mates and you'd say, or even if you're at school and you're like leaving school and you'd be like, tomorrow, do you want to go do this thing? Do you want to go play in the forest, climb a tree, or whatever it was you were doing? You just set a rough time, and then you all appeared there at that time. Hey, do you want to go do this in 3 days' time? Yeah, we'll meet you there at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Everyone was just there. You were you might have been 10 minutes late, or you had to wait for someone, but generally everyone was there. And nowadays, you can't organize something for an hour's time without double checking. Do you want to do this at 4 o'clock? Yes. 1 minute past 4. We still doing this? Yeah, we're still doing it. That's why we set the time. But it's ridiculous.
Did you ever get the thing where like you'd organise a time, and then when one person just didn't turn up, it was like, well, fuck it,
it's not
we're going.
Yeah, it's not.
And then you'd see you'd see them running down the train track, going, wait for me.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
You're like, there was a time, Stephen. You should have been here. Yeah, it's just a funny thought. Like, I think now, like, if I message someone and I set a time to do something and they, like, I haven't heard. So if I message them and go, I'll see you in 2 hours. And then they're like, cool. And then like an hour and 58 minutes later, you're where you should be. And they aren't there. And you go, still on for this? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, dude, I'll be there in 2 minutes. Oh, just checking.
Yeah.
Just double checking in case the plan changed.
That's so funny, isn't it? That's the world we live in. It's like, technically now, with phones, the internet, Waze, Apple Maps, Google Maps, whatever you use, there is no reason for anyone to be late, ever, really.
Well,
because even if you know you're going to be late, like on Waze, it will say, oh, there's been an accident. It's going to add an extra 20 minutes to your journey.
Yeah,
you can then like call, send a message through saying, there's been an accident on the N25, going to be a bit late.
Yeah.
And then that person at the other end can go, okay, fine, great, I won't leave. I'll go and have a pint, coffee, whatever.
But that depends.
So there's no reason.
I see it as there's more distractions now. So for me, it's like, it all depends on your concept of time. I know we've chatted about this before, but your idea of time. I personally, like, I don't know how you feel about this, but I would rather someone was late than early. Early irritates me more. If someone like pick me up 2 o'clock and someone arrives at 10:02, and they're there.
That's me.
Oh, see, that's my mate Ali's like that. He's always early, not on time, early, and I'm always like hella late. So if I say to him, "I'll be at your house at 2," I'll be there at like 2:15, and he's like tutting. But if he says, "I'll pick you up at 2," he arrives at 10:02, and then sits outside in the car, and I'm like, "Why are you 10 minutes early?" And because actually he was doing the right thing and giving himself time. For like things that pop up that maybe surprised you. But I'm like, son of a bitch, go around the block, drive around the block.
This is exactly so. Like when I say, like, to Yasmin, we're leaving at 2, she thinks that means we'll start getting ready at 2, then we'll start moving stuff out the door, and by the time we get in the car it's like 2:15. It's like, no, when I say leaving at 2, we're walking out the door at 2, which means you have to start getting ready at like 10 to 2.
Yeah,
and I know she gets it from her parents. They're exactly the same.
So
faffing.
She's
faffing. That's the word.
Faffing. See, I'm actually pretty good when it comes to leaving. Like if I said I'm going to leave at this time, unless I've slept in or something stupid's happened, I've been pretty good at leaving at that time. But my problem comes where I what's the word? Like
estimate. Underplay.
Underlay. I overestimate my ability to get shit done in a time period, and I underestimate the amount of stuff that needs done So I'll be like classic example. Yesterday, I needed to take the cat to the vet, and I had to be at the vet at 5, and it was 25 to 5, and I was like, "What time's this vet appointment, Pamela?" She goes, 5 o'clock, and I was like, looking at my watch. Now I know it takes minimum 5 minutes to drive to the vet if there's no traffic, and I was like, 25 to, cat's gotta be at 5 to, the cat's gotta be there at 5. This is definitely enough time for me to turn the MacBook on, plug a hard drive in, open a Final Cut project, and start editing a video. Definitely enough time. So there I am, editing away. And I just keep having to go, Dylan, it's now 10 to 5. And I'm like, 10 to 5? It only takes 5 minutes to get there. All right, be down a minute. Carry on editing. Tinkering away. And then I'm like this. Oh, it's 8 minutes too. Shit. Then I run down there, go get the cat. Of course, the cat's a cat. It's not waiting at the door like, are we going to the vet now? It's fucked off. It's in a bin somewhere. So I'm digging through the house, trying to find it, throw it in the cat basket, carry the cat basket. Oh, gotta go back, get the bit of paper. Oh, gotta get this, wear the car keys. Then by the time I'm in the car, then I'm driving down the road like a friggin' lunatic, trying to get to the vet on time. And it was like, I knew what had to be done. Why couldn't I just sat at the door with the cat in the basket for 10 minutes? Or why couldn't I be early? And that's one of the problems. I hate waiting for something. So see, if I go to a place,
you don't want to be early.
I don't want to sit there. And it's not because I don't like being early. It's because I'm like, the things I could have done in these 10 minutes. Yet here I am waiting for the vet.
See, the thing that annoys me is that it's like, in fact, like the vet, I have a 2-hour running up period for when we take the cat to the vet. Because I know what a hassle it's going to be. So like we have to lock him in 2 hours before. Then we have to like get the cat box down, let him get used to the fact that something's about to happen. And then with about half an hour to go, it's like, right, okay, grab him, try and get all the 4 sharp corners into the top of the box, and then we just, it's like this massive affair. And then he'll be ready to go sitting in the cat box 20 minutes before I actually need to leave. And it's like, well, that's just tough, isn't it? You know? But he's in the box.
What's the technique though for getting the cat in the box?
The way we've done it is I don't know what kind of box you have, but I have one where you can take off the top. Like the whole thing comes off top. Yeah, because the thing is we can't put him in, because technically if you have one where the gate opens at the front, you're meant to put them in backwards.
Yeah.
Like bum first.
Yeah.
But but they've got sharp claws at the front. Which and the back, so it's just horrible. So what we do is like we got this one where you take off the top. Right. I grab him, I put him in, and we do this kind of, in Indiana Jones when they take away like that golden thing, at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That egg.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, their little golden head.
Yeah.
So it's like that. You've got the cat box open, and then you just have the door open. You get the cat, you put it in, and then you put the door back on like immediately, and then you've got to shut the front door as well.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, when he shuts the front door, usually what happens is he gets his head out, and then you've got to kind of squish his head because it's getting trapped in between the cage door and the top of the roof.
Yeah.
And he's like, and like claws everywhere. And it's like, oh my God. But yeah, so that's why we have to have a long run up time.
See, it's ridiculous.
Because
our cat gets out of the cage. Like now, she's worked out she can just push the door and just, real shit cage, just push it open. So we have one of these bungee hooks. Remind me to come back to the bungee hook in a minute. That we have to hook around it from both sides. So when I take it to the vet, they're like, what's with the hook? And I'm like, this cat can escape. But the first time we took the cat in a cage, I was watching Pamela struggle. And Pamela is a bit of a struggler with things like this. She's got the cat and she's like, oh, go into the box, please. And she's like asking it to go in. And she's holding the cage and the cat. And the cat's climbing over her shoulders. And I watched her for like a real full minute, just like going, struggling.
Enjoying it.
I walked over and said, give me that cat. And I just grabbed the cat from under its top legs, held the box up, and then basically just fucking... I don't even know how to explain it. Just fucked it straight into the back of the cage. Like, yeah, one shot, just folded it, and boom, cat in the box. Lock, let's get out of here. She was like, holy shit. So the cat knows it now. So like catches on my arms, but I'm like, punch it straight into the back of the cage. That's the only way. Otherwise, it's up your face, claws in your eyeballs.
Yeah. So. It's what's really annoying is it's like you're only doing it to help them as well. It's like they don't have that sense of rationale. It's like, do you realise, by going here, you can have the stitches out, and then you'll feel much better.
Yeah, well, our one's been sitting at the door just meowing because she's got this plaster on because this is why she's going for stitches. And I'm just like getting so angry with her because I'm looking at her going like, this is why we're the dominant species, because we'd have worked out that we're not allowed out by now. Because she's effectively sitting at the door going, can I go out? And I'm like, nope. Can I go out? Nope. Can I go out? And that's been going on for like days. And I'm like, understand the pattern here. I keep saying no. So stop, for the love of God, meowing at me. And she's just looking at me like, and as I finish that sentence to her, she goes, can I go out? Oh, for fuck's sake.
You know what's interesting though is that our cat, he gets quite clever. Like he does this thing in the morning. He'll come in and he has a little routine of things that he'll do to wake us up. And then depending on how tired Yasmin and I are, will depend how far he goes around the room of challenges.
Okay.
So he comes in and just sits on you for starters, and you're like, no, okay, fine. Then what he does is he starts to scratch the side table that we have, which usually sends me into a rage. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll get up and I'll feed you. But then what he does, if we don't get up after that, he then walks all over us and he'll start eating Yasmin's hair.
Jesus.
Like literally, he took a big chunk out of it this morning. And she just threw him off the bed.
So she dealt with that nicely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but he has this little route where he goes around and goes, right, okay, let's try this. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try this. Oh, they're starting to move now. But let's just go in for the hair, because that works every time.
The final
He's a
one,
little fucker.
Knock
He knows.
the lamp over. That one.
Oh, he's done that before.
That does my head in. You just hear it go bonk, and it looks at you like, what? And you're like, listen to me, you little bastard. And it just walks off and shows you its asshole. I'm like, imagine if you just did that to anyone else. Imagine if that's how you dealt with a human being. You walked in, can I get a loan? And they're like, hold on a second, sir. You just stood up on the counter, walked about, kicked the lamp over, showed them your asshole. Can I get a loan now? Fucking hell. You'd be arrested and straitjacketed immediately. But for cats, it's okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is
talking of cats, I have Netflix. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
You know how Pamela started watching Cheer, and then she said, "Oh, you should check this out," and then you started watching it, and you were like, "Oh my God, you need to see this."
Yep.
Yasmin and I have started watching something on Netflix today called Tiger King.
Okay.
It is fucking mental.
Really?
We were just watching the first 20 minutes, like over lunch, and you know how have you seen Don't Fuck with Cats?
No.
Okay.
Pamela watches ahead of everything, so I didn't get to see anything.
It's a bit like that, but we were watching the first 20 minutes going, this is the most mental thing I've seen. And it's about this guy who ran this tiger zoo, I think in Florida. And basically he got put away for murder, for hiring someone to murder this woman that was trying to shut down his zoo. And he's like this eccentric, drug-addled gay guy who just has 187 tigers on his property and just loves them to death.
And they're fine with him?
Well, yeah, he's never apparently got bitten. I don't know. We only started 20 minutes in, but he is just fucking
really?
mental.
I mean, I have a fucking tiny white dwarf cat, and I've been bitten.
No.
And he's got 100 tigers.
Apparently 187 tigers. And then this woman, like, you think, oh, okay, so this woman's like after him, I can see why she wanted to, and then you go and meet her, and with about 5 minutes of meeting her, you're like, well, she's fucking mental as well. And you're like, great, that's amazing. Because at one stage you're like, okay, so she doesn't want tigers in a cage, that's fine, that's great. But then she says, growing up I love cats, I had 2 white imaginary cat friends.
Sorry, are you telling me the guy is the dude? I'm looking at a picture of a guy currently now. Can you see it on my screen? Is that him? He's got...
yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Like, he's a mullet type thing.
Yeah, blonde mullet.
Yeah.
He's definitely not blonde because his mustache is brown.
Yeah.
And he's in like a sequin suit with no shirt on. Just lying there with a tiger, right. And the tiger's looking at him like, fuck my life.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm a killer. And this is what I'm doing in my life. Good God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's called Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem and Madness. It is. We watched the first 20 minutes and we were like, oh my God, these 7 episodes are probably going to take up the next 7 evenings.
That's insane.
Of our life.
That's insane.
Yeah. And she's mental as well, the one who like he supposedly tried and killed. Because she has imaginary cat friends as a kid. And then she said, I'm allergic to cats.
Of course she is, yeah. Not imaginary ones, though.
Well, apparently not.
Maybe.
So she's allergic to cats. And so it's mental. It just looks fucking insane.
That is fucking madness.
I'd go, put it on Pamela's radar, and I'm sure she'll end up watching it and drag you in.
I don't know if it's my kind of thing. You know, I'm a bit
Oh,
funny with shows like this. She watches lots of nonsense like this. Here, did you watch Jimmy Fallon?
I haven't had a chance to yet. Yeah, no.
Oh, he's done another one, a second episode.
Oh, is that with Jennifer Garner? Is that Jennifer Garner?
No.
Is it
Jimmy Fallon?
Oh, yeah, but no, he's done one at home with.
It's just him though.
Oh, but he's done another one that says At Home with Jennifer Garner or something.
Oh, right. Maybe he's done another. Maybe it's a third episode then.
Maybe it's
so funny though. Like I also still don't know if he's getting like legitimately irate with his kids, or if like he's just playing into that whole vibe of what he's like. But yeah, here coming back to
At Home edition with Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, okay, so it must be a new one then.
Oh, well.
Honestly, watch the first one though. So you can see what he's done with it, and he explains it. Coming back to bungee cords, right?
Oh, sorry, bungee cords, yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Hold on.
Is it is that a red one?
No, that red one was the other one. That's the one I use in the cat cage. This one's yellow.
Oh, I'm colourblind.
Yeah.
That's why I can't see.
Shit, nearly hit the mic with it. One of these things, bungee cord, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's so funny is, my kids are barred for them because what they do is they stretch them and then smack themselves in the face with it. But they are, they're barred from it because of that. But what's so funny about those is my son, since he was a kid, he is currently a kid, since he was a little kid, like when he could start to talk, he used to pick them up, and he has forever called them hookers. So like,
where's this going?
Well, it goes everywhere because Pamela and I have forgotten that hooker is not just this. You know, so we'll be like, there'll be people here, and I'll be like, Noah, stop playing with that hooker. What have I told you? If you play with that hooker, it's gonna slap you in the face. And then recently they had one in the garden, and I was like, where did you find that hooker? It's dirty. You don't know where it's been. And then Pamela was like, holy shit. So I was in the vet the other day with a red hooker wrapped around the box. And of course, I forgot I wasn't talking to my 8-year-old son. So when she was like, do you want to just get her out of the box? And I went, yeah, cool. Let me just remove this hooker. And she looked at me, and I was like, I'm not even going to explain. I'm just going to go with it. So yeah, those are cool. So if you're ever around my house, or you hear me talking about my son and his hooker, we're talking about bungee cords.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, that's all right. Now I know, because then I got worried. Otherwise.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. I see you got some chicken yesterday, did you? Good.
No, it's this morning actually. Yeah, I went out and braved the outside world because I don't know, depending on where you are in the world, England or London at least, we're not in full lockdown yet. Mm-hmm. They advise us not to go out to coffee shops and pubs and that kind of thing. But you can still go out and get food. And today it didn't feel as panic buying as much. There was still like nothing on the shelves, and there's certain people just grabbing hold of everything, but it felt a bit more reserved today.
Well, I've gone to we're not on lockdown either, and I've gone to a couple of shops, but I've gone middle of the day when it's been dead and there's been no one. There's literally been no one in the shop to get a few things that I need, because we've got stuff there that will do us if it comes to full lockdown, but for the time being, it's we need certain things to eat. So I'm in there and I'm only picking up. You know what the problem with this whole thing is? People don't have common sense. You're just using common sense. You walk into a shop. Real shame. You walk into the shop. Yeah. Don't pick up a basket. Don't use a trolley. Just walk in. Yeah. Pick up the things you want, but don't pick things off shelves unless that's what you're taking. Because otherwise, just pick it. Don't cough in people's faces. Don't rub your hands on stuff. Just walk in, buy your shit that you need, walk out, touch nothing, cough on no one, clean your hands when you get into your car, wash them properly when you get to your house. Don't rub your face until you get home. It's kind of common sense. The problem is there's idiots around. So this morning I was I just needed air. So I went out and also it's also hard because people are live in so many different environments. But where we live, there's access to a park, and it's pretty easy to get to. So I hopped on the one wheel and had to go get something, and 5 minutes down the road, not even probably a minute and a half on the one wheel, I'm into this park. So I'm cruising this park's empty, fresh air, no one about, and I'm just cruising through the park. Go past these tennis courts, and there's just groups of middle-aged people sitting in playing like doubles tennis, but like at least 10 couples of people, and like all just there laughing.
How old are they?
Probably like I'd say 50s up, 50s, anywhere from 50s to like 70s. That generation of people, and they're just like, oh, patting each other on the back, playing tennis, and I'm like, you guys are the ones that are at risk. And
they're second most at risk.
Well, yeah, second most at risk. Yeah, but I mean, like, but they're also, they just don't give a fuck. They're just, and I'm going past coffee shops, like you were saying about the pubs. I went past a coffee shop in the car earlier, and I looked in, and it was the same thing, same age group, just sitting, having coffee, like as if nothing's happening.
It's interesting you say that, because I was speaking to Yasmin's mum, and she has slightly older parents, so they're like mid to late 70s. And I was telling Yasmin's mum the same thing, and she said, "Oh yeah, that generation, they're very what word does she use? Like disruptive.
Yeah.
They're just very they'll do what they want.
Yeah.
They don't really care." And I thought that's really interesting. So the generation just above us, I think, is it Gen X? That must be right.
Yes.
Yeah. So sort of the Generation X, they're just like, "Oh, we'll do what we want, thanks."
Yeah.
Whereas like the ones that are slightly older, that are, you know, Yasmin's parents' age, and then to my granddad's age. Actually,
to be honest, even then, man,
you know, he's self-isolating now.
But even then, we're going. So we decided today the kids are just driving us berserk, and I said, Pamela, do you want to just get up and just go to the beach? So we went out to like this really remote beach way down the country, like in the middle of nowhere, and parked the van, no one about, and just took a walk. You know, there was no one there. Just went and sat in the rocks and threw stones in the water for a bit. It was just really tranquil and relaxing, but people there, like on the way down, you were driving through these little towns. We were just driving through the van looking, and I'm just like, there's just loads of like people who I would classify as pensioners, high risk, just walking down the shops, standing in queues at the butchers, and you're like, what are you doing?
It is a very bizarre thing, because I think, especially the UK, we get very confused because we've got that whole, you know, keep calm and carry on thing.
Yeah.
The trouble is that worked when you're in a war, because you know, everyone has to muck in together, and it's like, you go to war, there's a good chance you're going to die.
Yeah.
But everyone kind of seems to understand that and know that. And the problem with the coronavirus is that until you actually get it, it's so intangible.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So it's like, I was watching the news the other day, this guy who was 30 years old, he's put out like a video because he's ended up getting it, and he was like, just please stay in, because it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And it hurts, and it's hard to breathe, and I know I'm going to get through this. But he said, just be sensible. And I'm thinking, geez, that's like a 30-year-old who's like, you know, and apparently, well, I don't know if he had anything underlying, but he did not look good.
Yeah.
Like, he looked proper did not look well. And I thought, yeah, this is the problem, is that until you actually, like, it slaps you in the face, no one really seems to understand. And it's so hard, because I'm going around, like, obviously we've got to go out and get food. We aren't really going out many places, and we're keeping it to a minimum. But at the same time, it's because the sky isn't actually falling.
Yeah.
There's just there's an illusion that it is.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to, I mean, what do you do? And I guess for older people who are like, they've been through fucking wars and seen God knows what in their life, they're like, well, just carry on, right?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to compare it to.
Yeah. No, you're right. No,
it's so weird.
It is odd, isn't it? It's a weird way to have to live at the minute. Give us 2 seconds. I'm just going to pause this and re-record it.
Yeah.
I'm just on my camera, just because I was recording for fucking ages before you started.
Well, I didn't know you'd actually, started recording. Because when you say 4 o'clock, I have to check with you. You see?
Yeah.
Because I know you're the late guy, I'm the early guy. So there's actually 20 minutes of no footage. True. I'll be there recording 10 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Actually, no, 20 minutes. Yeah.
But yeah, it is a weird mix. When you're out there and you're looking about and you're thinking like I was saying to someone the other day, I feel like I'm being told the world's on fire, and I'm looking out my window and I'm going, I don't see any flames. And I'm looking online and I'm like, I don't really see any flames, because someone got any video footage or photo proof so I can understand it. And there is just this, like, it's like exactly like you said, until it happens to someone you know, you start to see it. It's not tangible, so it's so hard to understand.
The other thing, like I saw on the news as well, not to get depressed, but they're building like like mobile morgues.
Jesus.
Like, you know, they're just like pop-up morgues, as it were. I mean, it's weird. And like you look at that and go, oh shit, you need a pop-up morgue. I mean, that's like, to me, that's like, well, that's pretty serious, right? That means they're expecting people just to like literally drop like flies.
Yeah.
And it's just really weird. I mean, and it's such a bizarre thing, because there's like, there's nothing to compare it to. Yeah, it's like the world's on fire, but you can't see flames. Exactly.
Well, do you know what's quite interesting? So Pammy and I were talking about this yesterday. So you're getting this like percentage. They're giving this percentage what the death rate is, and it's looking at like how many people are contracting it and how many people are testing positive for it. You know, and how many. So you're testing positive and then death rate. And they're saying, like, say, for example, 100,000 cases and there's 1,000 deaths. And they're working out the percentages of these. But they're not testing in Northern Ireland. I'm pretty sure they've stopped testing in most parts of the UK. And the thing is, it's like, imagine how many... I mean, I haven't been tested. Have you?
No.
No, so imagine how many people like us have probably got it in some form, but haven't died, all right? So... If we've got it but haven't been tested, we are an invisible number that's not being used. So the only numbers that are coming together are the numbers of people who are actually proactively going out to get tested or being tested because they've got symptoms, and then the other number is people that are dying. So there's a whole chunk of people that aren't being tested, and they're basing the death rate, the percentage death rate, on those numbers that are actually very incorrect, because there might be 100,000 people tested.
Yeah,
40,000 people, 40,000 people positive, and 1% of that is a death rate, right? But there might be 6 million people positive
with it,
but 700
only 40,000.
Yeah, exactly, and only 100,000 of them actually went and got tested.
Yeah,
and
I see what you mean. It's like there's no real figures, and I think this is the problem: is that you see so many people online going, "Oh, this is happening, that's happening. I think this, I think that," and the truth is, no one really knows.
No.
I'd like, because they're saying stuff as well. Was it some guy said, well, it would be really nice to be able to get a test where you can test someone and go, oh, you actually had it, but there's nothing wrong with you. Actually, you're really useful because we can look at the antibodies that you've got and maybe use that as a contribution towards making a medication for people that you know, aren't as lucky as you.
Yeah.
But there's no way to do that yet, really. And so they have, they're just saying, oh, we'll just try this, we'll just try that, self-isolate. And it's like, no one really knows, because it's such an unquantifiable, unprecedented type of thing to happen.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary.
The only number that's actually accurate is surely is the death rate. Surely that's the only number that's accurate, because everything else is assuming that everyone's been tested. So if you think like the seasonal flu, I'd love to know like how many people get the seasonal flu and actually go to the doctor. So when it comes to the seasonal flu, what numbers do they use to talk about its severity? Probably just death rate. They don't, Yeah,
I think they go something like 10,000 people
died. Yeah, we're not getting every year we're not getting these numbers thrown in front. Imagine if every year you were throwing in numbers of people that had the flu. I think that's for me is the problem, is the issue, is because there's that. It's created this like scared panic in everyone, and I think that's one of the worrying things about it. But fuck me, this has ended on a low.
It has, hasn't it?
Jesus Christ! I also just read on The Guardian, millions of people worldwide will be affected by locusts.
Oh, really?
Fucking swarms of locusts, all in like parts of Africa. Just go and I skimmed it, but just go and Google that shit. Fuck it. Someone just wrote on Twitter, "We're all fucked." And just screenshotted this, and I was like, "We don't need this. We definitely don't need locusts." And I was like, "Just flamethrower those motherfuckers."
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, though. There's depending on which conspiracy theory you believe in. Was it the Chinese? Was it the Russians? Was it Greta Thunberg? Who knows? And the thing is, I think it's just Mother Nature going, "You guys have just got to stop."
Yeah.
Fucking up my planet.
Yeah.
And right, we'll start at the top, and if you don't listen, we'll just keep on killing everyone that's younger, and we'll mutate until you learn. To be quite honest,
it's a little bit biblical as well, though, isn't it?
It is very biblical,
especially with the locusts coming in. That.
Yeah, well, now the locusts come in. What we'll get, like, was it the sky will rain frogs or something soon? Is that another one?
Don't know. Stopped reading the Bible after
Yeah.
Page
Yeah,
3.
stop reading the Bible after everyone died from locusts. What happened?
shit.
Well, yeah. Adam, Eve, locusts fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that
Yeah.
didn't last very long. Great.
Not at all.
Oh, and then Cain killed his brother. Good, that's the way to start. Oh, was it Cain? Oh, I don't know which one killed the other. Oh, God.
By the way,
That's terrible.
on that, I watched a
Anyway.
movie, Ricky Gervais's movie last night. Is it
Humanity?
The Conception of Lying?
Oh, no,
One
I've
of
not
his
seen that.
movies, The Conception of Lying, or The Beginning of Lying. Basically, like how the lie started. Fucking great. It's so stupid, but good. Loads of cameos, and definitely
check that out.
Definitely worth watching after you've watched this podcast, because you'll be morbidly depressed now. Go and watch that. So
It's kind of funny, but this season is called Quarantine.
Yeah,
so
true.
This is how we're running.
True.
Yeah, and we gotta just get through it.
Anyway, cool. I'm gonna go bake a
I'll
cake.
say that.
Um,
Oh yeah, go and do that.
and
I'm gonna carry on doing. What was I doing? I was editing.
Dunno.
Yeah, editing a job. There you go. In Premiere, no less. Just
no
saying.
thanks. Not for me. Not for me. No
Actually,
thanks.
okay. We can
Well-
talk about something else later.
Yeah,
I've got
well,
something to tell you, but we
alright.
won't do that now.
Okay, well, enjoy it.
We'll catch you tomorrow.
I'll chat to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
See you later.
Stay safe,
Bye.
folks. Bye.